Yeah, this is Susie and Otto Collins from susieandotto.com.
Broadcasting live from the
Hunkering down.
not totally hunkered, but welcome to Corona. So today, wherever it is you're watching or listening to this from, we could call this like a special broadcast.
We could.
Yeah, and if you are watching us live, post a question below.
Or just say hi.
Or just say hi,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Give us a wave.
Yeah, so today we're talking about living from love and peace during the pandemic or any other situation that you might find a little bit stressful or unusual or difficult.
So in other words, we want to just bring you a little hope and a little love and
A little light.
Yeah, a little light tonight because we can all need it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair warning, though. I mean, when we start thinking about this, I know, I don't know about you, Susie. I mean, I know what I hear you, but I have had my own challenges with stinking thinking during the first phase of this. I mean, the whole world has been going through this.
In a funk mood.
I've been in a funk. I've been up. I've been down. I've been all over. Right now, my spirits are pretty good, actually. And that's the way it is in life.
Right. And whether it's a funky mood with your partner or your kids or whoever you're living with or yourself, just be easy about it and let it pass. And I mean, that's what I've seen is don't be hard on yourself about anything right now because we're all just trying to stay healthy, trying to not get too close to others.
We're not getting too close.
Well,
I can't help it, though. I have to get close to you.
I know.
But during this time, and I think this time in a way can be a metaphor, because and not just a metaphor, but it can be a spotlight. This time can be a spotlight for how you're going to show up in the world, how you're going to show up in your most intimate moments with the people that you love and that you're closest with. I know earlier tonight I was texting back and forth for quite a while with my sister and, just sharing what was going on in our lives. And, the whole trick to living from love and peace, no matter what's going on, is just taking a moment and opening his love and seeing what's really real and separating out what stories that you might be living from and just the truth of what is, the truth of who you are when you get past all of your stinking thinking, when you get past all the stuff that you believe and all the stuff you're believing about how bad
future.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's where we all are, right? Whether you've got a job that you've been told to go home, you've been furloughed, you've been whatever, and there is a lot of uncertainty, but we don't have to make up a lot of stories about this and believe those stories. Those stories will come in. Oh, what if this goes on for a year? What if? What if? But we don't have to dwell there. We don't have to stay there. We can calm down, and we can tell ourselves, oh, wait a minute, I don't really know what's going to happen here. So let me just calm down and be loving to myself right now and be loving to the people that I'm with.
It was really interesting. There was a woman I was talking with today, Susie, and it was the most interesting. It was a short conversation, but it was really interesting because the woman says to me, I just don't know how this is going to turn out. And I don't know why, but I was feeling in kind of a little bit of an unusual mood. And I said to her, I said, that's the way life is all the time.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just think about that. I just don't know how it's going to turn out. And when we get so rooted and so stuck in the way we think it has to be and the way we think it should be in order for us to be okay.
Right.
I really have played this out. This whole thing of what's the worst thing that could happen? And I mean, I've really played this out. And
I bet you have.
I really have. And what I have found when I really played this all the way to the end was I could die. And I'm still okay with that. And not that I want to, not that I want to leave this wonderful relationship, that we have. And, there's so much that I want to do in life, however many years, the next 50 years I have left on this earth. Who knows how many years? But that was one of the things that when you and I got together, that was so amazing that I think that made our relationship really awesome from near the beginning was this idea that we don't know how long we have together. We don't know what's around the next corner. There's no way to predict that.
And what that does is help you to really stay present and enjoy that person, enjoy that moment. And, even, I know if the other person's cranky or in a bad mood because of all this or whatever, it's hard to enjoy the other person. Maybe they need some alone time, Maybe you need to just enjoy yourself doing something that you like to do. And that's what we wrote about today, was giving yourself permission to have a little fun, doing something that maybe you haven't done in a long time. And maybe that's painting or doing some home project that wouldn't involve, a lot of I don't know, whatever. I know that I had some kind of rubber mat underneath our carpet in the bedroom, and it left a residue. And for months I've been saying, I need to get that up. Well, I did it the other day. and it's like, okay, just go ahead and maybe there's something. We've been watching movies.
I've been wanting for months to watch my favorite movie of all times again. And it's like, I kept saying to myself, I'm going to, I want to.
Instead of basketball, we're going to watch.
There's no
basketball.
No NCAA basketball to watch. There's, a lot of shows are, so I thought, well, this is my opportunity. This is my moment. And in case you're wondering, my favorite movie of all time is a movie called Point Break. And it has Patrick Swayze in it, Keanu Reeves, Lori Petty, Gary Busey in it. And I'm talking about the original Point Break.
And we did watch it the other night.
And it was totally awesome. And Susie had trouble sleeping after we went to bed. But it was totally awesome, and I loved it. But it gives, at times like this, it gives you the opportunity to do some things you don't ordinarily have the chance to do. And
even, doing them at home, where a lot of times we've had in mind, well, we go to restaurants and we meet there, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying, but that's what we think of, going out to the movies or going here or going there or whatever. Now's your chance to just enjoy what maybe being at home might give you. Now, Otto, what if your relationship isn't too great? This home thing might not be too great.
Well, if you remember a few minutes ago when we first started this video, I said one of the things that I said was the time we're in where we're having, what a strange word, social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
While we're having this thing that's going on right now, so let's say that you're cooped up with somebody that you're in a relationship with, that sometimes it doesn't go real well. What that does is it actually highlights and spotlights the truth of what is. And it gives you an opportunity. So there's two ways you can see this. You can see this as, oh no, I'm not going to survive this. I mean, we're going to kill each other here. There's a chance where you can look at this and you can see, or you can say to yourself, oh, I'm miserable. I'm going to be miserable. This is going to be really awful. Or it can be an opportunity. And that's the way any moment is in life, if you're open to seeing that moment fresh with new eyes, and just in a fresh new way, is when you start to see how this could be a new opportunity. And it could be in so many ways. I mean, how can you see this person differently? How can you get curious, and how can you get to know them in new ways? I've even thought that, let's say that you are somebody that's been in a relationship forever, and your times in the bedroom have gotten a little boring. Now is the time to explore
some maybe some different ways of intimacy, right?
Yeah, opening to possibilities. I mean, now more than ever, this is your chance to take this moment and start to see, oh, what could I do here? How can I be? And start to open to, oh, how can I see this different? What, just this moment, how can I open up and see something more just new?
Yeah, and if your communication is sparring with snide remarks or whatever, or conflict, now is your chance to just say, I'm not going to do that anymore. And instead of coming back with some, nastiness that meets the other nastiness that's coming at you, just stop and say, I don't want to do this anymore. Tell me why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Or, tell me more about what you're saying. And then listen. Now's the time to change your communication if it hasn't been working too well. I know that people get in patterns and they repeat them, well, that's what a pattern is, it's repeated. And they fall into the same old ways of relating to one another. And now's your chance to change all that. And it sure is possible.
I've even had thoughts the last day or so, because, we're here in the midst of this whole coronavirus situation. And I know there are cities around the world, and there are cities in the United States who have essentially shut down and said, we're going to shelter in place, and we're going to ride this thing out, and we're just going to see what happens. And I had the thought over the last 24 hours, what if what if on the other side of this, because every expert that I've listened to, every expert that I've seen has said this is not the end of times, but it is something to be taken seriously. So what if this thing does last 2 weeks, 20 days, 2 months, or even till the end of summer, or however long it is? What if, now I'm just posing a what if question. What if the end of this thing, meaning where, people start to go back to work, restaurants start to open back up, people start to get a little more acclimated to what might be considered normal. What if there was a curtain? What if there was a big giant curtain on the other side of what we're going through at this moment? And what if at the end of this situation, or at least maybe it's not even the end, what if we can just start to see the light at the end of this thing? And what if there's a curtain there and we just start to think, okay, what might I want things to be like? What might I want to be moving toward when the curtain opens again for the next act of my life?
So this can act as a reset, right?
It really can. And I love the word reset. I love that.
Yeah, because we get, like a hamster wheel feeling. And this is definitely bringing all that to a halt.
Like in our case, we've been considering for a while. There's a couple of books that we've been percolating about. And it's like, because of the time we're in, that's starting to percolate a little more for us. Not that we've completely decided what we're going to do or if we're going to do, but when we start to think about, well, when that curtain opens a little bit, at the, maybe not even the end of this little situation which is not so little, the situation that we're going through, when we start to see the curtain open a little bit, when we start to step forward, if we were to just see what might be possible, what steps can we be taking in this moment? What if we started to open our heart more? What if we started to open to some new possibilities? And I love what you said about the reset, because it gives us a moment to stand in our center. And in spite of all the craziness that is going on in the world, it seems like everywhere I look and every person I talk to, there's one insane scenario after the next. There's so much uncertainty.
That people are coping with. They're coping with serious situations in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But I would offer that you find something to be grateful for in your life every day.
Yeah.
And when you turn your mind, that's not shutting, out what's going on. But when you turn your mind to gratitude, there is some light that opens up. And that's what I've been doing is, okay, what can I be grateful for in this moment, right here, right now? My grandson got back from Germany, a few days ago, and I'm extremely grateful for that. And he got through the TSA at Chicago in 2 hours, which was really miraculous, and is now under self-quarantine, of course. But I am so grateful. So find something that you're grateful for in this moment, right here, right now.
Because the whole key is, like we've been talking about through this whole time, is living from love, finding that place, living from love and living from a place of possibility. Yeah. And whether it's now during this coronavirus pandemic, or whether it's any other situation that you face in your life, if you could part the curtain a little bit and you could start to see, oh, what might I want on the other side of that curtain? The possibilities that you might think about. Are they endless? Who knows? Maybe. But certainly, if you don't give yourself permission to think about something new, if you don't give yourself permission to open instead of when you're tempted to close, or if you don't give yourself permission to look at what's real and what's true, but also know it's not forever. Nothing is. Not in this life, anyway. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've been talking about living from love and peace during the pandemic. We're Susie and Otto Collins. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Be safe.
Oh, yeah. Love each other.
Yeah, love each other.
Love each other. That's all you can ever do. You know, that's a choice. Blessings, love, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.